Why America is great. The story behind the most Olympic medals all time. When we examine global sporting achievement, one statistic stands above all others. The United States has won more Olympic medals than any other nation in history. This isn't just a matter of athletic prowess or population size. The story of America's Olympic dominance reveals something deeper about the nation itself, its values, its systems, and its approach to human potential. With approximately 3,095 total medals accumulated since the modern Olympics began in 1896, the United States has built a legacy that extends far beyond the medal podium. Understanding why America leads the all-time Olympic medal count requires us to look beyond simple athletic ability. It demands an examination of educational systems, economic structures, cultural values, immigration patterns, technological innovation, and institutional frameworks that have evolved over more than a century. This dominance isn't accidental, nor is it solely the result of natural advantages. It's the product of deliberate choices, sustained investments, and a particular set of American characteristics that have proven remarkably effective at producing Olympic champions. The numbers that tell the story. As of the 2024 Paris Olympics, the United States has accumulated approximately 3,095 total Olympic medals across both summer and winter games. This includes 105 gold medals from Summer Olympics, with approximately 2,765 total summer medals and 330 winter medals. The nearest competitor falls several hundred medals short of this total. What makes this achievement particularly remarkable is its recent consistency. The United States has topped the overall medal table at 8 consecutive Olympic Games through Paris 2024, an unprecedented streak in modern Olympic history. The United States has finished first in the Summer Olympic medal count 19 times out of 30 Summer Olympics attended. While there was a notable period from 1972 to 1996 when the United States did not lead in non-boycotted games, the nation has reasserted dominance in the contemporary era. The breadth of American success is equally impressive. Unlike some nations that concentrate their efforts on a handful of sports, the United States medals consistently across nearly every Olympic discipline. From swimming and track and field to basketball and gymnastics, from wrestling to shooting, from cycling to volleyball, American athletes compete at the highest levels across the entire spectrum of Olympic competition. The foundation: collegiate athletics. Perhaps no single factor contributes more to American Olympic success than the unique college athletics system. The United States possesses something that exists nowhere else in the world: a vast network of universities that function as elite athletic training centers while simultaneously providing education. The National Collegiate Athletic Association oversees approximately 1,237 member institutions as of 2024, with hundreds offering full athletic scholarships across dozens of sports. This system serves as a massive talent development pipeline. A gifted teenage athlete in America can receive world-class coaching, access to elite facilities, sports medicine, nutritional guidance, and strength and conditioning programs, all while earning a university degree at little or no cost to their family. Compare this to systems in other countries, where young athletes often must choose between education and athletic development, or where families must bear enormous financial burdens to support an aspiring Olympian. Division I alone includes over 350 schools competing in sports ranging from basketball and football to swimming, track and field, gymnastics, soccer, and rowing. Many of these programs operate with budgets that rival or exceed national Olympic programs in smaller countries. The University of Texas, for example, has invested hundreds of millions of dollars in athletic facilities. The Olympic-sized pools, indoor and outdoor tracks, gymnastics training centers, and other facilities at major American universities would be the envy of most nations. Moreover, this system creates competition that elevates performance. A talented swimmer doesn't just train in isolation, they compete weekly against other elite swimmers at universities across the country. A runner faces high-level competition throughout the collegiate season. This constant testing against peers, combined with the motivation of competing for one's school, creates an environment that produces Olympic-ready athletes. The coaching talent within collegiate athletics is extraordinary. Many Olympic medalists transition into college coaching positions, bringing their expertise to the next generation. Universities can afford to hire specialized coaches for specific events or techniques. A major track program might have separate coaches for sprints, distance, hurdles, jumps, and throws. This level of specialization allows athletes to develop under expert guidance in their specific disciplines. Economic resources and private investment. America's economic strength translates directly into Olympic success through multiple channels. The United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee operates with substantial resources generated primarily through private sponsorships, broadcast rights, and donations rather than government funding. In 2024, the USOPC reported approximately $497 million in revenue, with expenses of about $385 million. This model creates sustainability and often exceeds what government-funded programs in other nations can provide. The USOPC's financial strength is unprecedented among national Olympic committees. As of December 2024, the organization reached approximately $1.02 billion in total assets, making it the first National Olympic Committee in history to reach the billion-dollar mark. Over 60% of USOPC spending supports athlete excellence programs, with approximately $234 million invested in these programs in 2024. Corporate sponsorship plays an enormous role. Major American corporations see Olympic athletes as valuable marketing assets and invest accordingly. Nike, Under Armour, Gatorade, Visa, Coca-Cola, and countless other companies sponsor individual athletes and teams. These sponsorships provide athletes with financial security, allowing them to train full-time without the distraction of needing employment to support themselves. An elite swimmer might secure sponsorships that cover living expenses, travel, coaching fees, and training costs, enabling complete focus on athletic development. The financial ecosystem extends beyond direct sponsorships. Wealthy donors often establish training centers or fund specific programs. Swimming provides a clear example. The United States has numerous world-class aquatic centers, funded by private donations or university investments. Cities compete to build facilities that might attract Olympic trials or national championships, knowing these events bring economic benefits. This competition drives facility development that serves both collegiate and Olympic athletes. Prize money and appearance fees in American sports provide additional financial incentives. Major track meets in the United States offer substantial prize purses. Swimming's professional circuit, while smaller than track, provides competitive opportunities with financial rewards. These professional pathways help bridge the gap between collegiate and Olympic competition, keeping athletes engaged and financially supported during their prime competitive years. The diversity advantage. America's position as a nation of immigrants creates a unique talent pool. With over 330 million people representing virtually every ethnic background, genetic heritage, and cultural tradition on Earth, the United States draws from an extraordinarily diverse population. This diversity manifests in Olympic success across events that favor different physical attributes and cultural backgrounds. Consider track and field, where athletes of African descent have dominated sprinting events, while athletes of European descent have traditionally excelled in distance running and field events. The United States produces elite performers across this entire spectrum. American sprinters regularly dominate the 100 and 200 meters, while American distance runners compete at the highest levels in the 5,000 and 10,000 meters. American throwers, jumpers, and hurdlers all medal consistently. Swimming showcases a different aspect of this advantage. Historically, swimming in America has drawn from broader demographic participation than in many other countries. While challenges of access and opportunity certainly exist, the sheer number of swimming programs across diverse communities increases the talent pool from which Olympic swimmers emerge. The result is a system that identifies and develops swimming talent more effectively than most nations. The immigrant experience itself contributes to Olympic success. Many Olympic athletes are first- or second-generation Americans, bringing what some scholars call immigrant drive, a powerful motivation to succeed and prove oneself in a new country. Parents who sacrificed everything for their children's opportunities often instill an extraordinary work ethic. These athletes compete not just for themselves, but as representatives of their family's journey and sacrifices. Cultural diversity also means diverse sporting traditions. Fencing, a sport with deep European roots, thrives in American immigrant communities. Wrestling benefits from strong traditions among various American ethnic communities. Gymnastics draws from multiple cultural traditions of excellence. Table tennis, badminton, and other sports that might be minor in the broader American consciousness find dedicated communities that produce Olympic-level athletes. Youth sports infrastructure. The American youth sports infrastructure operates at a scale difficult to comprehend. Across the country, tens of thousands of youth clubs, leagues, and programs introduce children to Olympic sports. USA Swimming alone registers approximately 376,000 individual members as of 2024, operating through over 2,700 club teams. USA Track and Field reaches millions through youth programs. Youth basketball, soccer, volleyball, and other Olympic sports engage millions more. This infrastructure operates at multiple levels, creating pathways from recreation to elite competition. A child might start in a recreational league, progress to a competitive club team, then move to a regional or national level program, all while maintaining access to coaching, competition, and development. This progression system, while imperfect and facing challenges of access and affordability, nonetheless provides more opportunities for more young athletes than exist in most other nations. The club system in many sports functions as a feeder network for collegiate programs, which in turn feed Olympic teams. Elite club programs in swimming, gymnastics, volleyball, and other sports operate year-round with professional coaching, travel to national competitions, and training camps. These programs identify talented athletes early and provide development opportunities that might not be available through school-based programs alone. High school sports add another layer. Interscholastic athletic competition in America is unique in its scope and organization. Most American high schools offer multiple sports, with organized leagues, championships, and media coverage. This system provides competitive opportunities for millions of teenagers annually, helping identify athletic talent that might otherwise go undiscovered. The Friday night football game, or the packed gymnasium for a basketball tournament, creates a sports culture that values athletic achievement and encourages young people to pursue athletic excellence. Scientific and technological innovation. American investment in sports science, training methodology, and technology provides significant advantages. Universities conduct research into biomechanics, physiology, nutrition, psychology, and recovery. This research translates directly into improved training methods. Olympic training centers employ sports scientists who apply cutting-edge knowledge to athlete development. The United States Olympic and Paralympic training centers in Colorado Springs, Lake Placid, and Chula Vista feature some of the most advanced sports science facilities in the world. Athletes can access altitude training, environmental chambers, biomechanical analysis, physiological testing, and psychological services. Nutritionists design optimal fueling strategies. Recovery protocols incorporate the latest research on sleep, inflammation, and tissue repair. Technology integration extends to training itself. American athletes and coaches were early adopters of video analysis, using slow-motion replay and biomechanical software to refine technique. Wearable technology tracks training loads, recovery metrics, and performance indicators. Data analytics help coaches optimize training programs and identify patterns that lead to peak performance. Medical and rehabilitation capabilities represent another advantage. Access to world-class sports medicine allows American athletes to recover from injuries more effectively and return to competition faster. Surgical techniques, physical therapy, and rehabilitation protocols developed in the American medical system benefit Olympic athletes. The integration of medical schools, research hospitals, and Olympic training creates a synergy that enhances athlete health and longevity, cultural values, and the Olympic ideal. American culture embodies certain values that align remarkably well with Olympic competition. The emphasis on individual achievement, while simultaneously valuing team success, mirrors the Olympic balance between individual and team events. The American dream narrative, that anyone, regardless of background, can achieve greatness through hard work and dedication, resonates with the Olympic ideal of human potential. Competition is valued in American culture in ways that support Olympic development. From an early age, Americans are exposed to competitive frameworks. This comfort with competition, combined with the cultural celebration of excellence, creates an environment where Olympic aspirations are encouraged rather than seen as unrealistic or inappropriate. The American approach to failure also contributes to Olympic success. In a culture that often views failure as a learning opportunity rather than a permanent mark of shame, athletes feel empowered to take risks, attempt difficult skills, and push boundaries. This mindset allows for the kind of training and competition that produces Olympic medals. An athlete who misses the Olympics in one cycle is encouraged to try again, to learn from the experience, and to come back stronger. Media coverage and public interest in the Olympics create additional motivation and support. American television networks invest billions in Olympic broadcasting rights, ensuring extensive coverage that creates household names and cultural moments. This media attention elevates Olympic athletes to celebrity status, providing motivation and reward for years of dedication. The public engagement with the Olympics creates a supportive environment where communities rally around their Olympic athletes. Title IX and women's sports. The passage of Title IX in 1972 fundamentally transformed American sports and created one of the nation's most significant Olympic advantages. This federal civil rights law prohibits sex-based discrimination in educational programs receiving federal funding, which effectively required schools and universities to provide equal opportunities for women in athletics. The impact on Olympic performance has been profound. Before Title IX, American women had limited opportunities in most sports. After Title IX, women's collegiate athletics exploded in participation and quality. Universities that previously offered only a handful of women's sports now offer a dozen or more. Scholarship opportunities for women athletes increased dramatically. Coaching positions, facilities, and support services expanded to match men's programs. The result is visible in Olympic medal counts. The United States consistently earns more medals in women's events than any other nation. American women dominate basketball, soccer, swimming, track and field, gymnastics, and volleyball. They excel in rowing, wrestling, and countless other sports. This success directly traces to the opportunities created by Title IX and the cultural shift it represented. Moreover, Title IX created a virtuous cycle. As opportunities expanded, more girls participated in sports. Increased participation meant more talent was identified and developed. Success at the Olympic level inspired another generation of girls to pursue athletics. Universities competed to recruit the best athletes, driving up coaching quality and facility investments. Professional leagues emerged in sports like soccer and basketball, providing post-collegiate competitive opportunities that kept athletes training at elite levels. The infrastructure supporting women's sports in America now exceeds what many nations provide for their entire Olympic programs. A talented female basketball player can receive a full scholarship to a Division I university, train in world-class facilities, under expert coaches, compete against other elite players, weekly receive national media coverage, and then transition to a professional career in the WNBA or overseas. This pathway simply doesn't exist in most countries. Geographic and climatic diversity. The United States spans multiple climate zones and geographic regions, providing natural training environments for a wide variety of Olympic sports. Winter sports athletes can train in the Rocky Mountains, the Sierra Nevada, or the Northeast. Water sports athletes have access to both oceans, the Great Lakes, and countless rivers and lakes. Outdoor track athletes can train year-round in warm weather states. This geographic diversity means American athletes can live and train in optimal environments for their specific sports without leaving the country. Cross-country skiers train in Minnesota or Colorado. Swimmers and divers train in California, Florida, or Texas. Rowers train on the Charles River, Lake Carnegie, or the lakes of the Northwest. This eliminates the need for expensive international training camps or relocation that athletes from smaller or geographically limited countries often face. The climate diversity also supports year-round training in many sports. While swimmers in northern climates might be limited to indoor pools during winter, American swimmers can train outdoors in Southern California or Florida. Track athletes can maintain outdoor training through the winter in warm weather states. This consistent training, without weather-related interruptions, provides developmental advantages. Natural features support specific sports as well. Mountain climbing and adventure sports benefit from access to diverse terrain. Surfing, introduced as an Olympic sport, has deep roots in American coastal culture. Skateboarding, another new Olympic sport, originated and evolved in American urban and suburban environments. As the Olympics expand to include sports reflecting contemporary youth culture, America's role in developing and popularizing these sports translates into competitive advantages. Professional sports and Olympic development. The existence of major professional leagues in America creates complex but often beneficial relationships with Olympic sports. The NBA's relationship with Olympic basketball provides the clearest example. When NBA players began competing in the Olympics in 1992, American basketball became exceptionally dominant internationally. The Dream Team and its successors have won gold in most Olympics since, with NBA star power providing overwhelming advantages in international competition, though the United States did experience setbacks, such as the bronze medal finish in 2004. Professional track and field, while less lucrative than major team sports, nonetheless provides a competitive ecosystem that keeps American athletes engaged after college. Major track meets in the United States offer prize money and appearance fees that allow athletes to support themselves while training for Olympics. Professional golf and tennis, while operating on somewhat different timelines than the Olympics, have produced Olympic medalists who developed through American junior and professional systems. Even in sports without major professional leagues, semi-professional opportunities exist. Beach volleyball players can compete in professional tours. Wrestlers can find opportunities in various professional and semi-professional contexts. Gymnasts can perform professionally in shows and exhibitions. These opportunities help bridge the difficult period between collegiate eligibility ending and Olympic competition reaching its peak, typically in an athlete's late 20s. The professional sports infrastructure also includes world-class training facilities that Olympic athletes can access. Olympic swimmers sometimes train alongside professional swimmers at private facilities. Track athletes use training centers designed for professional competition. The spillover benefits from professional sports investment in facilities, coaching, and sports science support Olympic development, even in sports where professional opportunities are limited. Competitive selection systems. The American Olympic selection process in most sports is remarkably meritocratic and transparent. The Olympic trials system, particularly in track and field and swimming, creates drama and ensures that the athletes competing at the Olympics have proven themselves under pressure immediately before the Games. The U.S. Olympic swimming trials and the U.S. Olympic track and field trials are events unto themselves, often drawing tens of thousands of spectators and national television coverage. To make the Olympic team, an athlete must perform when it matters most, under the lights, in front of crowds and cameras. This system ensures mental toughness and peak performance capability. It also means that reputation or past performance alone doesn't guarantee Olympic selection. Athletes must prove themselves repeatedly. This competitive selection system has a secondary benefit. It drives excellence throughout the entire program. Athletes can't coast on reputation or rely on selection committee preferences. They must continue improving and performing. This constant pressure to prove oneself creates training intensity and competitive drive that translates into Olympic success. The depth of American teams in many sports means that athletes who do not make Olympic teams would medal if representing other nations. The fourth or fifth best American swimmer in certain events might be competitive for gold, representing another country. This depth pushes everyone to higher levels. Training partners who don't make Olympic teams, nonetheless, provide world-class training competition that elevates those who do. Immigration and the brain drain. American Olympic success benefits from a phenomenon sometimes called the brain drain in other contexts. Talented athletes and coaches from around the world immigrate to the United States, drawn by opportunities, facilities, and the possibility of representing America at the Olympics. Citizenship requirements mean these athletes eventually compete for the United States rather than their countries of birth. This is particularly visible in certain sports. Elite table tennis players from China have represented the United States at Olympics. Gymnasts from Eastern Europe have emigrated and competed for America. Coaches from around the world move to the United States to work with collegiate or club programs, bringing international expertise to American athlete development. The pattern works at multiple levels. Foreign college students compete for American universities on athletic scholarships, sometimes choosing to remain in the United States and eventually representing the country in Olympic competition. International athletes already competing professionally in American leagues sometimes pursue citizenship to represent the United States. The opportunity to train in American facilities with American resources proves attractive to elite athletes worldwide. While this pattern raises complex questions about loyalty, identity, and international sports equity, it undeniably contributes to American medal counts. The ability to attract global talent, whether in technology, business, or athletics, represents a form of soft power and national advantage that extends beyond sports. Institutional memory and sustained excellence. American Olympic programs benefit from institutional memory and sustained excellence spanning decades. The same universities that produced Olympic champions in the 1960s continue producing them today. Coaching trees connect generations of athletes. Training methodologies evolve and improve, but build on foundations of proven success. Organizations like USA Swimming, USA Track and Field, USA Gymnastics, and others maintain continuous operations with professional staff, established development pipelines, and accumulated expertise. While these organizations face challenges and sometimes serious controversies, they nonetheless represent institutional stability that supports Olympic success. The continuity allows for long-term planning and development. Programs can implement strategies that take years or decades to bear fruit, knowing the institutional support will persist. Coaching development programs train the next generation of coaches. Talent identification systems evolve and improve. Best practices spread throughout the system. This institutional strength contrasts with systems in some countries where Olympic programs experience disruption with political changes, economic crises, or shifting governmental priorities. American Olympic programs, largely insulated from direct governmental control and funded through diverse revenue streams, maintain consistency even as broader political and economic conditions fluctuate. The virtuous cycle of success. Success breeds success in Olympic sports. American achievements at previous Olympics inspire young athletes to pursue their own Olympic dreams. Children watch Americans win gold medals and imagine themselves on future podiums. This inspiration translates into participation, dedication, and ultimately, future Olympic success. The visibility of American Olympic athletes creates role models across diverse sports and demographics. A young African-American girl watching Simone Biles can see herself in gymnastics. A young swimmer of any background watching Katie Ledecky sees what's possible. A basketball player watches Team USA and dreams of representing the country. These role models matter enormously in recruitment and retention of young athletes. Success also attracts resources. Sponsors want to associate with winning programs. Donors contribute to sports producing Olympic champions. Universities invest in sports where national championships and Olympic glory seem achievable. Media coverage follows success, creating more visibility and more inspiration. This virtuous cycle has been operating in American sports for generations, compounding advantages and building on previous achievements. Conclusion: more than just medals. America's dominance in all-time Olympic medal counts tells a story far larger than athletic achievement alone. It reflects educational systems that value sports alongside academics. It demonstrates economic strength that supports athletic development without requiring government control. It showcases diversity as a source of strength and innovation. It reveals the power of sustained investment in human potential across generations. The medals represent millions of individual stories. The swimmer who woke before dawn for practice throughout high school. The runner who balanced collegiate academics with elite training. The gymnast whose family sacrificed for her dreams. the coach who dedicated a career to developing young athletes, the university that invested in world-class facilities, the sponsor who funded an athlete's training, the medical professional who helped an injured athlete return to competition. These medals reflect American values at their best: meritocracy, where anyone can achieve greatness through talent and work; innovation, where new approaches and technologies constantly push boundaries; diversity, where people from every background contribute to collective success; and resilience, where setbacks become opportunities for growth rather than reasons to quit. The Olympic medal count is not simply a measure of athletic prowess. It is a measure of systems, institutions, values, and commitments that extend far beyond sports. It reflects choices made over generations about how to invest in human potential, how to create opportunity, and how to build institutions that sustain excellence across decades and centuries. Understanding American Olympic success means understanding something fundamental about what has made America great: the belief that individuals can achieve extraordinary things when given opportunity, support, and freedom to pursue excellence; the willingness to invest resources in developing human potential; the strength that comes from diversity; and the institutional stability that allows for sustained effort toward ambitious goals. As new generations of American athletes continue adding to this medal count, they build on foundations laid over more than a century of Olympic competition. They benefit from systems refined through decades of success and failure. They represent not just themselves, but the accumulated wisdom, investment, and dreams of millions who came before them. And in doing so, they demonstrate why America continues to lead the world in Olympic achievement, not through any single advantage, but through the powerful combination of opportunity, resources, diversity, innovation, and values that define the American approach to excellence.